One day, a little girl and a little boy were at the park with their pants pulled down. The little girl asked the little boy, "What is that?" And the little boy said, "I don't know." Then the little boy asked the little girl the same thing and she said she didn't know. So that night, the little girl asked her mom and her mom said, "That's your garage, and you must not let any big trucks go in." Meanwhile, at the little boy's house, the little boy asked his dad what it was, and his dad said, "That's your big truck, and you must not park it in any garage." The next day, the boy and the girl pulled their pants down again, but this time the girl went home with blood on her hands. Her mom screamed and asked why she had blood on her hands. The girl said, "The boy tried to put his big truck in my garage, so I pulled his two back tires off." In a mental institution, a nurse walks into a room and sees a patient acting like he's driving a car. The nurse asks him, "Charlie, what are you doing?" Charlie replies, "Driving to Chicago." The nurse wishes him a good trip and leaves the room. The next day, the nurse enters Charlie's room just as he stops driving his imaginary car and asks, "Well, Charlie, how you doing?" Charlie says, "I just got into Chicago." "Great," replies the nurse. The nurse leaves Charlie's room and goes across the hall into Bob's room and finds Bob sitting on his bed furiously masturbating. Shocked, she asks, "Bob, what are you doing?" Bob says, "I'm doing Charlie's wife while he's in Chicago." A kitchen farmer goes to a local bar, sits next to a woman, and orders a glass of champagne. The woman perks up and says, "How about that? I just ordered a glass of champagne too." "What a coincidence," he says. "This is a special day for me. I'm celebrating." "This is a special day for me too, and I'm also celebrating," says the woman. "What a coincidence," says the man. As they clink glasses, he asks, "What are you celebrating?" "My husband and I have been trying to have a child, and today my gynecologist told me I'm pregnant." "What a coincidence," says the man. "I'm a chicken farmer. For years, all my hens were infantile, but today they're finally laying fertilized eggs." "That's great," says the woman. "How did your chickens become fertile?" "I switched cocks," he replies. She smiles and says, "What a coincidence." A little boy goes to his dad and asks, "What is politics?" Dad says, "Well, son, let me try to explain it this way. I'm the breadwinner of the family, so let's call me capitalism. Your mom, she's the administrator of the money, so we'll call her the government. We are here to take care of your needs, so we'll call you the people. The nanny, will consider her the working class. And your baby brother, we will call him the future." Now think about that and see if that makes sense. So the little boy goes off to bed thinking about what Dad has said. Later that night, he hears his baby brother crying. So he gets up to check on him. He finds that the baby has dirtied his diaper. So the little boy goes to his parents' room and finds his mother sound asleep. Not wanting to wake her, he goes to the nanny's room. Finding the door locked, he peeks in the keyhole and sees his father in bed with the nanny. He gives up and goes back to bed. The next morning, the little boy says to his father, "Dad, I think I understand the concept of politics now." The father says, "Good son, tell me in your own words what you think politics is all about." The little boy replies, "Well, while capitalism is screwing the working class, the government is sound asleep. The people are being ignored and the future is in deep shit."